And leading us off, severe storms whip through Harris County. Power is knocked out once again to hundreds of thousands of people. Plus, powerful winds and hail cause even more damage. The storms, yes, packed quite the punch, as much of the city is still recovering from the weather event nearly 2 weeks ago.
Still recovering. We have team coverage showing us the damage and power outages. We start with Sherman Chow in Magnolia, where sadly a house under construction collapsed because of the strong winds. In Sherman, sadly, a construction worker was killed.
Yeah, that is correct. And the fire departments, 4 of them here, are just wrapping up on the scene after having recovered that young man's body. I'm going to step aside so you can get a better look at that situation. These homes under construction, when they collapsed because of that strong storm, and maybe 5 minutes ago, a heartbreaking scene out here as the victim's father and a relative, with the help of firefighters, apparently went in to retrieve an item from that debris. We believe that it was something that belonged to the young man who was killed. Meantime, fellow co-workers here tell us they believe that the young man was trying to escape when he was killed.
I hear a lot of noises, like strong noises.
And one of your co-workers ran across the street and got caught in the collapse?
Yeah, he was working between the 2 houses.
Why are you so sure that he is in there?
Because we just called several times and he don't answer the phone.
He didn't answer the phone, but
No.
You heard his phone?
Yeah, we hear his phone when just call like 3 times. We just hear his phone ringing, and then he just saw like a little flashlight. So I think maybe he's in there.
And one of the things other co-workers told me was that because of the location of that body, the young man was actually found at the edge of that debris, fairly close to the outside. They believe that he was trying to escape. This is now officially classified as an industrial accident. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office is in charge of that investigation. We're live here in Magnolia. Sherman Chow, KHOU 11 News.
Such a difficult outcome on that work site tonight. We'll be thinking of everyone there. Sherman, thank you.
That was one of several houses reduced to rubble. Look at these images in Conroe. This is a new development in Bella Vista, courtesy of Scott Westra. Fortunately, no injuries there. The storms also produced flash flooding in several areas.
Jalissa Garza is live in North Houston, where some drivers got caught in the water. Jalissa, what's the situation right now?
Well, Mia, earlier during the 4 and 5 o'clock newscast, we showed you East Cross Timbers right under the Hardy. That water receded. They were able to take the car out. But take a look behind me here on Creston and Jensen. Still 2 cars still underneath this small overpass that is underneath a railroad track. You can see they're both still stuck there. We have not seen the water recede at all since we've been here. We did see a tow truck come in, but quickly turn around. Houston Public Works was also out here, so we're not sure who's going to be able to come out here and take these cars out. But just a reminder, while some spots like the East Cross Timbers part underneath the Hardy have receded and they've been able to get a stuck car out of there, there are some spots just like this one across this Houston area where there are cars stuck and still high water. So you don't want to chance it if you're driving through here, if this is part of your commute, if you live anywhere along Jensen and Creston, just go ahead and be on the lookout here. There are some cones up closing the roads. But again, just a reminder as well, when we were driving on 45 earlier, we saw spots of high water. So keep your eyes out on the road, stay off of your phone, and just be on high alert. But again, it's flash flooding. So as quickly as this water gets here, it also goes away. So we'll see what the case is for here on Creston and Jensen. But again, you want to be very careful. We've seen a few people walking over here, taking a look. And just a reminder, head to KHOU.com to check on the latest when it comes to any high water in different roads. And you can always reach out to us to let us know. For now, I'm going to go ahead and toss things back to the studio.
What a mess. Jalissa Garza showing us what's happening at her location. Thank you, Jalissa. And right now, Centerpoint reporting nearly 197,000 people are without power.
Those numbers steadily going down. Stephen Going, though, joins us live from Timber Grove. Stephen, today's storms are just piling on for the people in that community.
Yeah, Mia, exactly. After storms today, we're seeing a lot of power outages here, and that has become an unfortunate routine for people in this part of the city. After the severe weather we saw about 2 weeks ago, it took 6 days for some people here to get their lights turned back on. Now take a look. This is some of what we're seeing Right now this afternoon in Timber Grove, there are some branches on the ground as well as tarps covering up some of that damage from weeks ago when the derecho came through. Right now we're standing next to an apartment complex where every unit is in the dark tonight. One man I talked to said he lost all his food after the last power outage, and he's hoping that does not happen again.
It hadn't even been on a week yet. Well, we just have to wait till it comes back on. Now we can't cook any food. We just bought some food, so we're hoping that the power comes back on so we don't lose that too.
Now we're also seeing some construction just across the street, no doubt a repair from storm damage weeks ago. We've also heard some generators running tonight. Very likely that people had those from the severe weather a couple weeks ago and they may need them later on this week. Back to you.
My goodness, the stress of it all, dealing with the severe weather. Stephen, thank you.
All right, David Paul, you can at least tell us the storms dropped the temperatures?
Definitely dropped temperatures. Right now we've got a temperature of 76 degrees at Bush, Hobby 75, Sugar Land at 77. Compared to yesterday at this time, that is 17 degrees cooler at Bush, 18 degrees cooler in Sugar Land, 18 degree cooler at Hobby, and we will certainly take it, especially with the new power outages across the area. As far as the storms go, they've raced off into the Gulf of Mexico. We're done with that threat. There's nothing building back behind it in central Texas, so we should have a quiet evening and a quiet overnight. Here's this evening. We'll stay cloudy, humid. Temps will be in the 70s thanks to the rain cooling effect that we had with the storms going through. Now, we do bring in a chance for thunderstorms. Again tomorrow, we'll go over the timing on that. We'll look into the weekend forecast. We'll check on the smoke and haze that continues to come in from Mexico when I see you again in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, David. Today's storms also knocked out power. We've heard about the numbers, but it knocked out power to a dozen polling locations on an election day.
And tonight we're learning one location is closed because of it. Jason Miles joins us live outside the voting center on Griggs Road in South Houston. Jason.
Hey there, yeah, this is the Houston Texans YMCA that also serves as a polling site. They lost power this afternoon. Not only the polling site, but the YMCA is closed as well. We've seen a lot of people turned away. Meantime, the clerk's office saying earlier in the day it is working on the situation. Meanwhile, take a look at some video we shot just a few hours ago when we first arrived in the southeast Houston area. We heard thunder, obviously, the sound of hail, saw lots of rain as we drove around Telephone Road and parts near there. Power outages, flash flooding followed. In fact, I counted at least 5 stalled vehicles at Reveille and Park Place, including a rather high-profile SUV, which speaks to how quickly your car can get swept away, no matter how big it is. Drivers say they thought, and we've heard this a lot of times, they could make it through the water, but that's something you should definitely try to avoid.
I wouldn't recommend it. It's kind of dangerous. You're gonna get stuck, and then someone had to get you later on.
Yeah, we saw that today. Emergency vehicles, plenty of wreckers obviously showing up to that location. Meanwhile, we noticed the power came back on at some of the businesses in the southeast Houston area, but many more still without power, including, of course, like we mentioned, the polling site here at the Houston Texans YMCA. The clerk's office expected to give an update on today's situation a little later this evening. Reporting live on the southeast side, Jason Miles, KHOU 11 News.
We'll anticipate hearing from her. Thank you, Jason. A reminder, you can track severe weather and storms with the KHOU 11 app on your phone. It is free to download in the App Store. I know many of you may be feeling stressed. We've been talking about this after today's storms and the storms from just 2 weeks ago. Right now on your screen is the number to the Disaster Distress Hotline. Counselors are available to speak with 24/7.